All right, good afternoon. My name is Pankaj Agrawal. I'm a solutions manager with Intel Corporation. And I'm here to present the network service benchmarking tool. Let me just clarify a few things. This is not an Intel tool. This is an open source tool that we are trying to promote for NFV ecosystem acceleration. How many of you are developers out here? Okay, good. So majority of the audience is developer heavy, which is good. And I'm assuming you're always looking for testing of your applications, be it performance testing, be it service level testing, and we have a lot of problems when we do application testing for the ecosystem. Why do we do this? Why are we doing this tool from Intel? We don't sell software. We are a hardware company. We want the NFV ecosystem to accelerate very quickly, and that's why we're trying to solve a few of the problems that we face and we have collected from our ISVs, from our application developer community. One of them is we don't have specific telco grade benchmarks available out there. The network workload changes as we have more and more applications coming in on the existing infrastructure. We have more complexity of the applications that are being built every day. It's not clear what those KPIs are specifically. When somebody develops an application, the hardware part is like a black box usually. They don't have enough information from the hardware level all the way to the software level. So system capacity does not play a very important role when you're doing application development. And when you do application performance testing, that does play a role. So how do you connect the dots between application development and hardware development? Network workload scalability. In an NFV deployment, many a times we need to scale out an application. So just building one instance or running one instance of an application is not an option anymore. We need to be able to scale out the applications, run multiple applications on a single system. The thing that we have heard most from the ISVs, sorry, go ahead.
So are you going to cover all the, different packet sizes, for example, IPv4 traffic or V6 can I benchmark, or the host level or forwarded traffic?
Right.
And typically these are the
type of tests and KPIs. So we will cover some of the KPIs and some of the traffic flows in test when we do the demo, and we'll have a Q&A on what more can be added there. The first part is to give you the overview of what this tool is about, what are the problems we are trying to solve with the tool. That's about 10-15 minutes, and then I'm just going to run through the traffic flows and the actual KPI questions that you might have. Okay. Now, when we go to ISV providers, and some of you as an application developer go to your customers as well, there is a lack of a single acceptance criteria or single tool that can tell them what applications they can deploy easily. For example, a firewall application. There are different firewall vendors out there. Everybody has their own KPIs, own set of benchmarking. The problem that ISV providers they face is that when they look at different applications or same applications from different vendors, they don't know what is the right criteria on which they can judge. So this tool is supposed to work as one of the tools they can use in their onboarding process, in the VNF onboarding process, and this tool will help them. If all the developers and application providers use this tool as well to give out their performance numbers. Okay, what does this tool also help with? Right now, we don't have a clear answer on whenever you develop an application, when the infrastructure changes, how the performance changes. When you do stress level testing, when you want to do service level testing, you don't have a good framework out there right now which will tell you how your application will perform. This tool will basically help you out in both those scenarios. You will be able to change infrastructure. It's infrastructure agnostic. So be it Intel based, be it ARM based, you can deploy this tool on any of the infrastructures, and you can benchmark your application accordingly, and you can tweak your application accordingly. This is an open source tool. We do want the community to contribute. We as Intel are providing this tool for acceleration of the ecosystem, but we expect both from the developers, ISVs, and TEMS to contribute to the code so that they can change either the infrastructure or the application or the different test loads or the traffic flows, and they can test their tool out. That's the intent of this tool. One of the most important things is we are going to have a lot of changes in the traffic flows given how the ecosystem is developing, how we're adding new applications with a lot of more devices being connected. So the load is increasing, the way applications are being used is changing. So we need to address that, and we need a tool where we can dynamically or very quickly add to the capability of the tool to test out the application. So as we were discussing before, as part of this tool, what do we do right now? We go and we have contributed to the tool in OPNFV project under Yardstick. So Yardstick is a testing framework where we have contributed most of the code of this tool into. We have also contributed some sample VNFs like virtual router, virtual firewall, VACL, VCPE, so that people can use those sample applications to see how the tool is working and how those applications are working. We are also adding benchmarks to the tool, and we are also adding different set of traffic flows, different set of tests that we are putting in the tool that you can test your application on. There are different applications with different requirements. We are adding those into in the testing framework. We do expect others to contribute to the tool as well. And this is all open source right now. Everything, all the ingredients, all the testing framework uses open source ingredients. Having said that, you can also add and test using commercial ingredients on your own. But the tool intent is just to make sure it works with all the open source ingredients. So this is just a overview of how the work flows. You have applications on the top, then you have all your infrastructure on the bottom, and then you have all the layers and the software layers there. The tool itself sits here. It's a test harness that will allow you to test any of these. So if you change, for example, an application up there, it will still give you the results on the application performance and also results on the NFVI performance, which is the hardware performance. If you change a component in here from FIDO to DPDK, you can still be able to test your entire stack using that application. If you change anything here on the hardware side, make it Intel or ARM or whatever you have, you can still get your performance number for your application. And the tool is basically trying to, from a logical point of view, it sits on the side and tries to test your stack out. Sample VNFs that we have already uploaded, and it's already available for you to play with. Some of them are CGNet, ACL, VPE, all part of the OPNFV project. They are free, they're open sourced, and that's what we have used before. As I said, one of the important things is it has to be, the test that we run has to be automated. So you don't have to manually change all the test scenarios. Once you change one ingredient, the results are automatic. It's an automated tool. That's the most important thing for this tool. Yeah, sorry.
You mentioned vRouter as well, right? Did you mention, is that also part of which vRouter is this? I thought you mentioned vRouter.
Yes, we have a sample vRouter.
Sample or your own?
Yes, so it's a sample vRouter. It's not a commercial vRouter yet. The ones we have uploaded in the OPNFV project are sample VNFs. We do intend to work with the commercial VNFs as and when, so we are developing partnership for this tool with commercial VNF providers as well, be it firewall, like Palo Alto Firewall or HP vRouter, VPC companies. We are working with them so that we have commercial applications also developed at the same time. But for now, it is sample VNFs.
So do you also have the comparisons between the FIDO and the OVS? Or,
so,
is that also part of the scope?
Yeah, that is part of the scope. So as I said, if you change, for example, FIDO and have another component, right, on the vSwitch layer, you will see the performance difference. So you can have that, the capability is there, you'll have to generate and see the report out. So I cannot give you an example of right now how the improvement is based on, I don't know what your test load is, but you can have that. That is capability that's there. So you can compare ingredients as well. You can compare hardware ingredients, software ingredients, applications, different applications running on the infrastructure using the same tool. Oh, I think it's the VIL enhancements. Yeah. I don't remember the full form, but I think it has to do with the application add-ons that you can have on that layer, between the layers. But I don't remember the exact full form of that. Here?
Right.
Where? Oh, it's VNF infrastructure libraries. So yeah, so as I said, there's enhancements on the applications. But yeah, I didn't remember the full form. But yeah, it's there. VNF infrastructure libraries. Oops, did I jump? No. Yeah. So as we said, for this tool, the current scope, as somebody was asking, we have a bare metal environment. We have a standalone VM environment. We also are planning to release the OpenStack deployment as well for this particular VNF performance test benchmarking. So we cover all 3 different environments in one particular tool. You don't have to change tools for that. Our main goal is to collect network KPIs, VNF KPIs, and also NFVI KPIs. These are, so you can change the infrastructure, have different performances based on NFVI KPI. You can change the ingredients, and you can see what the VNF performance is. It is agnostic right now to the hardware. It is also an easy automated tool. You don't have to go to 2 different tools. It's just one tool trying to solve the problem that way. Why developers would be interested in that? Because we are pushing and working with the ISVs to make sure they use this as part of their onboarding process, as part of their acceptance criteria for new applications. So that will be an interest point from the customer point of view. From a developer point of view yourself, it gives you ability to stress test, service level test, and also change ingredients in the stack and see how the performance changes. For example, FIDO might be a good ingredient for you. You might have challenges with DPDK, so you can figure it out once you start using this tool. So as I said, we need to make sure we cover all 3 environments. We can also do scale up and scale out. You can run multiple instances of the same application and see what the performance is. You can also load more applications, many applications into one environment and see what the performance is. So that way, you're covering scale up and scale out features as well. So where are we putting this code up? This code is going up to in OPNFP under Yardstick project, as mentioned. We also have sample VNFs, also part of the OPNFP project right now. We are integrated with different traffic generators, so it's just not one. We're not specific to one of them. We have T-Rex, Ixia, Spirent work is going on right now. We also plan to have more commercial plugins into this open source tool so that people can use it. For now, our goal is to put a working tool across 3 environments for the application users. We do expect the community to add to the code. It's an open source project. From a developer's point of view, if you guys can add what you require from this tool for your specific application, what are traffic flows you want to be tested, so you can add that code into the tool. It's all as I said, it's all open source. It goes through a process, OPNFP process, which is fairly easy. I can go through that. But for now, we are focusing on what we have learned from our ISVs, what we have learned from our application developer companies, that what is that they want now to be done. So we're giving it a starting point. We're giving it a tool which can be used today. And then from there, it has to evolve on its own along with the help of the community. And that's the intent of for us to promote this tool out there. Now, there are several issues. So this is just a diagram of how it goes into what project, like OPNFP project. How do we do open source implementations? We are based on primarily on ITSI framework. These are the companies and partners. I know you cannot see it very clearly in here right now. Are the slides going to be shared later on? They are. Okay, so there are various partners we have already working with, and you can take a look at what the partnerships are. We started the work on this tool about a year back, and now it has evolved with the OPNFP e-release, which is happening in September. We intend to have a full working launch session of this particular tool. I'll take questions.
Since you mentioned standards, right, there is an IETF, there's this benchmarking work group.
Yes. So there are different RFCs.
RFCs, right? They're trying to benchmark different things.
Yes.
So are you participating in that? Or,
yes. So we are going to include.
They
Yeah.
also define methodologies also, right?
Of course.
So that way everybody follows
Right.
kind of.
So based on the application, right? For example, virtual firewall, they have
Right.
RFC 3511 and 24 something.
Something.
Right. So both the RFCs will be part of the tool. They will be included. So as per the application, the RFCs change and also the testing change. So we will be including them. And that's what we look up to the community as well. If, for example, if it's missing an RFC, just add it or just put a request in, or maybe the community will work on it. We will, in the beginning, provide certain RFCs. For example, for firewall, as I said, 3511, which includes the control plane KPIs and traffic flows, and also 25 or 24 something is also included. So we are including RFCs as per the application requires, because there are different RFCs for different applications, different testing scenarios. So we cover that. Okay, so with that, I would move it to MJ unless there are any questions about the intent of the tool, what are we trying to achieve, how are you guys going to use it? I see a question.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. This is related to OPNFV release E.
Okay.
I understood from morning presentation by Deepak at the OPNFV technical meeting that virtual EPC you may not include in E. Is that correct?
Yes. So, two parts to it. One is a sample VEPC, which is NGIC, is what we are calling, and one is a commercial VEPC work. So the commercial VEPC work will definitely not be part of the e-release. Even the sample VEPC work, right now we are not there yet. We might include it, but that's not the plan right now.
Okay.
So with the feature freeze that has happened, I believe last week with OPNFV, we are not intending to cover that right now.
No, OPNFV feature freeze is tomorrow, Friday.
Or maybe tomorrow, July
and then
something.
you
Yeah.
can get an extension by 1 week.
Yeah, we are not planning right now.
Okay. So other question is how much of these will be done in OPNFV and other upstreams like OpenStack or ONAP or whatever?
So ONAP is fairly new. It just formed, I believe, 3 to 6 months back. We right now our only place where we upload the code is OPNFV. How that will play with the manual stacks like ONAP or OSM for that matter, we still have to figure out. Right now the direction is when it comes to uploading of the code, it goes to OPNFV for now. As I said, ONAP is fairly new. It's still figuring out what we need to do and where the code will go when it comes to specific ONAP. Maybe we'll have a side project relating to ONAP in OPNFV. Maybe we'll do something else. So that's not clear yet.
So on the VNF catalog specifically, we heard that APIs will be in the later stages, but at the same time, if you know, this is for NFV, is that correct?
NFV ecosystem, yes.
Yeah, so in the NFV, the catalog structures either reside in the VNF management level,
Okay.
or it is in the NFV orchestration layer in the HC NFV reference
Right.
architecture. Given that the catalog that you have projected, is it a marketplace catalog or is it just a VNF manager catalog? So what layer do you see
Right,
the
right.
catalog being positioned here?
So right now, whatever we have put in as a sample VNFs, it's not, or it's orchestration agnostic. What we are focusing on is VNF performance, irrespective of what the orchestration is doing. That's the focus right now. Moving forward, how it will play with ONAP or any other orchestration engines and how the performance will change, those are all capabilities we need to add to the tool. That's not there right now. That's the plan moving forward, to add how the manual interacts with the application, how the performance changes.
So even assuming that it is placed in the OPNFV, we are okay with placement in OPNFV.
Okay.
The issue is in OPNFV, we have artifacts.opnfv.org as the place for cataloging the artifacts,
Okay.
which may include, I don't know whether it includes VNF. So should it not be included there, or this is separated?
So
Some
all
thought
these-
on that.
Right. All these VNFs are part of a project which is called a sample VNFs in part of the OPNFV. If you're asking very specific OPNFV and how it goes, I'm not very familiar with how it goes into
Okay.
that. So
Okay. Fair
I
enough.
can get you somebody who can answer how it gets
Fair
into
enough.
it.
Fair enough. I can just give you some idea.
No, that's okay. I mean, as I said,
Just for the sake of
Sure.
simplicity, the repo which you are talking about, yours will go into your repo, project repository.
okay.
A project can have multiple repository.
Right.
So if you want to just place your VNFs into a repository, you can have two repository, one for your code and everything, one for the within the project.
Uh-huh.
That's an option for you.
All right, I'll pass on the feedback. But as I said, I don't control how it goes into OPNFV. I just know that where it goes. So, but that's a good feedback. We'll add it. Okay. Any other questions before MJ? I know you have a big lab, and it's really an afternoon. Everybody's awake. Everybody had their coffee, and they're ready for doing some work. I see one more question, and then I'll pass it to MJ. I can't hear you very well, sir. Is there a link for what?
Is there a link for the pre-built VM or the appliance?
No, the VM we are going to now, so give away,
Bring
yeah.
up the USBs?
No, we're collecting them back.
So the USB stick what we have,
Okay.
it has a VM, so we are going to give it to you, you are going to copy and give back.
Okay.
So do I give
Do you want me to do
them
it
now?
now?
Not now.
Okay, I'm going to pass on the mic to MJ. Thank you. You are very good audience. Thanks for having me.
I got you.
I will be outside after the session as well. Thank you.